Hey, what's up, Master Trainers? This is your host, Charizard here, straight out of Pacific Valley. In today's video, we're gonna learn more Pokemon's name origin. Alright, so as you know, we're gonna be talking about the Pokemon roster from Pokemonunite mobile and Switch game. Alright? And if you didn't see, I already did a part 1 of this video where I explained these Pokemon name origins. So if you wanna check it out, I'm going to be leaving the video up there in the cards for you to do it. And in today's video, we're gonna be talking about the name origin behind the other half of this Pokemon. Although, in order to do that, first you need to know what is etymology. It is the study of the origins of words. And if we take Pokemon as an example, we will see that it came from the phrase pocket monsters. So poke from pocket plus mon from monsters equals Pokemon. And while some etymology of the Pokemon names are quite obvious, sometimes it could even be very obscure. And it could range from very simple and basic animal and plants connection all the way to very complex scientific terms and even mythological creatures. Alright, so with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, the first one is going to be Lucario, which actually is a quite difficult one. That's because its name might come from the word orichalcum. If you take a better look, you will see that all the letters from its name are present within the orichalcum word. Alright? And orichalcum is a kind of yellow metal prized in ancient times. And it's probably a kind of brass or similar alloy. Alright? And yet it explains half of its typing. It still has no connection at all with the other half and its visual. Although, if you take a better look, we will notice that Lucario's visuals is based on the jackal, which by the way is the same animal the god Anubis is also based on. And then how we complete this triangle is that in ancient times, probably in Egypt ancient times, the orichalcum was a very prized metal. Alright? Perhaps something related to Anubis' praises. And that could explain why this Pokemon has very deep relation with supernatural powers such as auras. And another curiosity for you is that all the letters from Riolu's name also are present into Lucario's one. Although this time, Rio, which comes last in Lucario, comes first, and Lu, which comes first in Lucario, goes last in Riolu. Have you ever noticed that? Alright then, the second one is going to be Talonflame. And its name is no mystery to anyone. It comes from the words talon and also flame. Alright? What makes this Pokemon a fire bird? What is exactly what it is? What explains everything about its visual and typing. Alright? And by the way, to go even further, I believe that its visual is probably based on a hawk. The next one is going to be Eldegoss. Its name comes from the word elder, what to be honest wasn't quite obvious since this Pokemon doesn't look that old. Although it could be that's because since it is the final form, it is elder, in a way it is older than its previous form. And also comes from Gossypium, a genus of flowering plants from the mallow family, which cotton is harvested, alright? What makes a lot of sense since this Pokemon has a huge cotton ball with seeds on its back, and definitely explains everything about its typing as well. So there it is, Eldegoss is like the cotton Pokemon which is older than its previous form. Next one is going to be Greninja. Its name comes from the word grenouille, which is the French word for frog, what makes a lot of sense since this Pokemon came with the 6th generation known as Kalos region, which by its time was based in France, alright? It also comes from ninja, what makes this Pokemon a French ninja frog, what explains everything about its visual and typing, since ninjas are well known to dwell better and perform their deeds into the dark, alright? So in my opinion, a very good name, very good visual, and very good typing. Next one is going to be Crustle. Its name comes from crust, more specifically Earth's crust, since this Pokemon has a chunk of it on its back. That's because this Pokemon is based on the hermit crab, which usually makes its home out of shells and other stuff it could find. And in this case, we can see that it made a castle out of the Earth's crust. This way, explaining everything about its visual and typing, alright? Since now it is a hermit crab with an Earth's crust on its back, which by the way is its own castle. Next one is going to be Snorlax. This one is pretty easy, I bet that you already knew, but in case you didn't, it came from snore and relax. Perhaps because this Pokemon is always snoring and relaxing around. Next one is going to be Charizard. Its name comes from the word chaired, or the verb to chair. And of course, from lizard, although I strongly believe it isn't any lizard, but more specifically the Komodo dragon. That explains Charizard's visual, since he might took a little too serious the dragon part of the Komodo dragon name. Although if we try to imagine a Komodo dragon with a pair of wings and a torch on the tip of its tail, it wouldn't be that far from Charizard's look, don't you think? Alright, next one is no one other than Pikachu, the most famous Pokemon at all. Its name comes from Pika Pika, a Japanese onomatopoeia for light sparks, and also comes from Shu, a Japanese word for the squeak of the mouse, alright? What makes this Pokemon an electric mouse, and definitely explains everything about its visual. And this one I bet you already knew. And talking about electricity, next one is going to be Zeraora. Its name might come from the word Zeus, which is the most well-known thunder god. And before you think it makes no sense at all for it to be referenced after Zeus, I still believe it makes a little sense since this Pokemon came out on the 7th generation, also known as Alola, which by its time was based on the Hawaii in Hawaiian culture. And talking about Hawaiian culture, into the Hawaiian mythology, Kanehekili was the equivalent of Zeus, and by its time this Pokemon might be based on this Hawaiian god. So if you think the most popular equivalent to this Hawaiian god, it definitely would be the Greek one, alright? Its name also could come from the word rapid and the Japanese word Tora, which means tiger. So by this logic, it would be the fast electric tiger. What if you think about is exactly what this Pokemon is and explains everything about its visual. And I strongly believe that it makes sense since one of its highlights is its base speed, which makes this Pokemon one of the fastest of its generation. What do you think? Do you believe its name makes any sense? Next one is going to be Gardevoir. Its name comes from the word garde, which is the French for to keep, and also from the word voir, which is the French one for view or guard. So we could think that this Pokemon is the Pokemon that keeps guard, alright? What doesn't make any sense, and at least in my opinion, doesn't explain anything about its visual or typing, but if you take a look on its dex, it kind of explains its behavior of always standing up and defending its trainer, alright? So it is the Pokemon that always keep guarding its trainer. And why this Pokemon also makes reference to friends is still a mystery to me, since this Pokemon didn't came on the 6th generation, but on the 3rd one instead. So if you have a better theory about its name origin, please let me know down in the comments. Next one is going to be Blissey. Its name comes from Bliss and also from Chansey, which by the way is its previous form. And what could make sense here is that because it is an improved Chansey that brings bliss, alright? Whether through its presence or through its even more precious Zeg. And the last but definitely not least is Blastoise. And I bet its name is no surprise to you, since it is based on blasters, which by the way are those cannons it has on its back, more specifically one on its side behind its shoulder, and also Tortoise, making this Pokemon the Tortoise with blasters, which more specifically blasts water, alright? And explains everything about its visual and typing. Although I still strongly believe that this Pokemon should be water and ground typed, since Tortoises duel very well on land as well. And that was it. We finally finished to explain the name origins from all the Pokemon roster from Pokemon Unite. And if you like to know the name origin of 490 plus more, so you should check it out my Etymology Master online course. They are gonna be teaching you everything you need to know behind each Pokemon's name origin in a very fun, quick and visual way. And besides boosting your English vocabulary, you also gonna earn an exclusive Etymology Master certificate after concluding to one of the courses. And plus all of that, you also gonna get a bonus PDF file in order for you to be able to recap it anytime, anywhere you want. So if you are interested about it, don't forget to check out the video I'm gonna be leaving up there in the cards. And if you're also down to watch some gameplays, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because here I'm gonna be posting gameplays from Pokemon Unite, played on mobile, and also from Pokemon Unite board game, which could be played through the tabletop simulator, alright? It belongs to a game series I have created and is already available to be downloaded and printed out in order for you to build your own board game, alright? Just like a huge DIY. If you wanna check more about it, I'm gonna be leaving the video up there in the cards. You could also check it out, the links in the description. Don't forget to ring the bell in order to get notified about new videos here in this channel. I hope you guys like to know all about the Pokemon name's origin from this two-part video series. And I see you in the next one.